My name is Gagan Suri.
My name is Sarah Suri.
We heard about Scott and Smith & Sons through a dear friend of ours who lives in Vernon. They have been using Scott and the company for many years now, and they couldn't stop raving about them. It was a no-brainer. On top of that, whatever research we did online was very obvious that it's a company which is trustworthy. When he came, we talked to him, we didn't have a reason to look any further. I told him that we have goods to follow and then very heavy paintings and stuff coming in. And if he knew somebody who could help us, and his immediate response was, I'll do it. So I like that attitude. I felt that even in my absence, my wife could work with him directly in hanging paintings. In fact, he's already done it.
Yeah, once you meet him, you have no reason to doubt his capabilities.
Yeah, or look any further.
Yeah.
And since we moved into this house, we had really a long list of things to be done.
When we first heard of Scott, we thought we'd just get him to install some shelves in our closets and paint the basement. So from those 2 tasks, he actually ended up doing about 200. And whenever I looked up online for anything further, we would find Smith & Son showing up as number 1 or number 2, and his reviews are very high.
Anybody you want to work with in this region is basically Scott.
We looked up fencing, we'd find him. We look up kitchen renovations or something, we'd find him.
We started off with a small list of very simple tasks, just basic cabinetry work, putting some closets in place, minor repair and maintenance work. But as we saw his work, we expanded the scope, given that we found out that he and his team had far bigger capabilities, and we added on some more complex tasks. We changed the gas range, we had some plumbing issues, electrical issues. We actually ended up changing the air conditioning, boiler, and AC. And one of the most complex challenges that we ran into, because it's a new house, we had some drainage issues in the back of the house, which took a while to even identify what the issue was. And then once we found it, it was not easy to solve. It was a very complex thing. But I've yet to hear Scott ever say to me, oh, I can't do it, or this is not possible. The answer I always get is a very optimistic answer. It's like, yes, it can be done. And he would not come back and scare you and say, oh, this is going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It's always a better way of doing it, a more economical way of doing it. And he would give us all options.
He's very cost sensitive. A lot of times we've had, other than Scott, we've had landscapers and people, roofing people, pool people come here. And there's this immediate, sad, but it's true. There's this desire to, let me see what I can get out of these people. It's a nice big home, what's up in this neighborhood. There's this mistrust that we feel instantly because somebody's always going over and above what we believe the quotation should be. In Scott's case, he's very sensitive to what we have to spend. He only speaks when he has something sensible to say.
He came on time. He is always very diligent. He makes good notes. He is technology friendly. He's always available. These are traits that not common to find.
Most contractors will not show up when they say they will, or they're 2 or 3 days behind. So the neighbors were curious about him, like, who's this guy who's there every day?
Scott has the right attitude as well. So it's a combination of everything, which makes you feel like even if there is something that can be postponed, but you have Scott around, let's just get it done. You see, because we had Scott here, he had time. I would say we went 4 times of what we wanted to do because of him. People take jobs they can't really deliver on. There are delays of all kinds. A lot of people have this callous attitude that anything goes, but no, not really. Anything goes only once. He gave us a very good estimate to begin with. Where we stand today, the work that he has done, it's very fair and it's totally acceptable to us.
We actually have really interesting photos of Scott and his team. I mean, some photos look like they're stuck down a drain, or one has his head down the toilet, suspended from the wall up there in the middle of the pool.
It's like Mission Impossible photo. There was so many things going on.
We had him check everything. So he went behind the dishwashers, he went behind the washing machine. In fact, we found out that the dryer was not even connected to outside vent, and it was just throwing lint, maybe a decade's worth behind the cabinets, and he cleaned all that up. And he told me, he's like, you don't want to come see this, let me just give me a vacuum and I'll take care of it. Some days it's been, thank God he was here, when the alarms went off and the monoxide alarms went screeching. And in fact, Gagan was very upset that day because he said, well, when I'm not around and these alarms go off, what is Sarah going to do? And he told him so nicely, he's like, listen, me or my team, somebody's always around. We're just a phone call away, so you don't need to worry about her.
Yeah, that was so nice to hear that.
And our kids are very fond of him. His disposition rubs off on the kids and they actually go out to help him. So we've had Zion digging in the back, and his presence is nice around our home.
Oh yeah, you can look around the house. The house looks like a house. When we got it, it was, the house looks like a home. I think that's the best way to put it together. Yeah. When we got it, it was a house with a lot of issues. But with Scott's help and what he did here, it looks like a home now. I mean, we can show you before after photos of only 6 weeks ago. You won't even recognize the place. It's so different.
It's time efficient as well. There's a lot of enhancements he did for us. I mean, from changing little handles to doing the whole outside of the backyard project. There's nobody better than him to do the job. Trustworthy, reliable, efficient, I think cost effective. What would you say?
Always on time. I mean, the trust factor is the most important. The quality of work is most important. Scott doesn't compromise. There are many times that I have told him that, Scott, let's just give up and let's do the easier way around. And then he would look at me and says, no, it's not gonna look good. I'm not gonna do that. That's not my work. I mean, I'm particular, but he's more particular than I am, because he always says it's my name on the job. And I don't want anyone to say that, oh, Scott did this and there's a small deficiency there. So this is what I really appreciate about him.
We hope to see his team grow and his business grow.
I would describe him as dependable.